Okay, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to set up your master node. Now I'm not actually going to be setting up a master node here, but I'm going to show you all the steps involved. Um, on the website it shows you all the steps to do this, and I'm going to send a link to here, but basically I'm going to be following exactly what's on this guide. Here's what you need to have first is 10,000, it's 10,001, just over 10,000, because there will be a fee for transaction fees. VPS server, there's a lot of VPS servers out there. You want one with Ubuntu 16.04, minimum 1 gigahertz of CPU and 1 gigabyte of RAM. So the first step on here is have your wallet installed. It needs to be synchronized, and you do need to have 10,000 coins in there. I don't in this. This is just a new wallet I set up for this to show this. Let's see. Actually, first thing to do is go into receive. Okay, there we go. And create a new address. And this doesn't need to be anything special. Just anything you want. I usually name them MN1 for masternode 1, and then later if I create a second it'll be MN2, but it can be anything you want. Hit OK. That will create you a new address. Okay, there we go. And then you want to, actually I created two of them somehow. Anyway, copy this address. You should only have one. Hit send, and now you're going to paste that in there, and the label will come up, and you're going to want to do 10,000 coins, and then hit send. Now before you hit send, my wallet's not encrypted. I don't have any coins in here. You probably have it encrypted. Before you hit the send, actually go in here and you'll have the option to unlock your wallet. Unlock that and then hit send. Mine's not going to send because I don't have the 10,000 coins, but I like to do this first because you do have to get some transactions going before you can finish the rest of it. So if you do that send, and then while you're setting up your VPS server, you can get those going. Okay, so once you've sent that, you can minimize this window. Here's Putty. I have it all installed. The installation is very simple. Just do a search for Putty, install it, and run it. And there's a lot of options in here. Really, is all you have to do though is get your VPS server IP. And for mine, I have this is my IP. I'm gonna put in here, and then all you got to do is hit open, and it's going to open up a terminal with your VPS server. Now the first time you do this, it's going to ask you make sure that this is secure. If you hit yes, it will save that, and it's not going to ask you this anymore. So I'll hit yes because I know this is my server. Login. You'll get these logins from your when you sign up for a VPS account. They're going to give you logins. I do suggest you change the password and make it more secure. I've already done this with mine. Oh, one thing for Putty, I have my address copied here. To paste into Putty, you don't do Control V, Control C, stuff like that. If you just right click, it will paste from your clipboard into there. And if you want to copy something, all you have to do is highlight it. So if I highlight this, that's automatically copied to my clipboard. Okay, you don't have to do Control C, Control V, or anything like that. So it's a little unusual that way. So anyway, now we're logged into our VPS server. And basically is all we have to do. If you haven't, change your password with PASSWD. Okay, that'll let you change your password, hit enter, and put the password in twice. I'm not going to do that because I've already set mine up. So then basically, let's scroll down this guide a little bit. We're already to this point. So you will want to now, if you're doing it in a different account or you've been messing around, you're going to have to do the CD to put you to the root directory of your account. Also, I'm doing this as root. It wouldn't be a bad idea to create a new user and do it as that new user. It's a little bit more secure. But as long as you've got a really secure password for this login, it's not too risky to do it as root. But like I say, it is a little bit better to do it as a different user. Actually, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so I can actually see that whole thing. Sorry, this my Windows machine is a little sluggish right now. Okay, so we want to copy this. And then remember to paste, just right click in there. Oh, didn't copy that, it copied what I had highlighted there. Okay, so copy, right click. Well, this is supposed to work. Copy. Okay, so now we did that. And now we want to change the permissions on that file. So copy that, right click in here. Okay, change the permissions, and then now since we're already in root, we don't have to do the sudo, but it won't hurt, I suppose, to do that. So select it. Copy. Didn't copy it. Okay. This runs the install, and from there you'll want to continue. And it'll take a few minutes here. It's going to ask you a few questions. One of them is going to be whether or not you want to set up swap space, which just came up. And this depends on your VPS. Now mine, I have 2 gigabytes of RAM on mine, so I don't need to do this. If you have less than that, if you have less than 2 gigabytes on whatever VPS you're using, you would want to do this. You'd want yes, but I'm going to put no because I have 2 gigabytes and that's enough to run it without the swap. And so it'll go through, install all this stuff. It'll take a little bit, and then when it gets done, it's going to give us some information that we're going to need for setting up the rest of our masternode. Now while that's going, oh, it's all done. Okay, so that was real quick. So now let's jump over to our wallet, and in here is what we're going to do is we're going to go to help, and the debug window and go to console, and in here we're going to type in masternode outputs. Now if you actually transferred your 10,000 coins over, you would get an output here. I didn't, but you'll get an output, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. It actually shows us here in this guide. Okay, right here. So this is what your output would look like. So we'll assume that's what it put out. If you're getting no output like mine, it means you didn't transfer your coins, or you haven't waited for some blocks to pass since you did. But if you did send exactly 10,000 coins to an address in your wallet, you'll get something like this. And is what I like to do is I like to copy that and put it into a notepad, because you're going to have to close that window, and you can just put that whole thing in there. That's okay. You can edit it and make it look nice if you want, but I just put the whole thing in there, and then we'll go back here. So we'll assume that it put that in there because we actually transferred the coins. And then you'll have this, and what's on here is all you're going to need to set up this master node. Go to master nodes, hit create, and here in the alias you can put anything you want. I'll put mn1 so I know that it's the right one. Then for the IP, yes, you do want the port and everything. Don't get a bunch of space after there, but just get that little section. And like I say, in PuTTY, that's already copied it. So then right here we can paste. There we go. Private key is right here. Just make sure you get that selected, and then paste that in here. And then this TX hash is this number right here. We'll scoot this over so you can actually see the whole thing. So this number without the quotes, copy that, paste it in there. Then the output index is this number right here. So in mine, it's either going to be a 1 or a 0. In this one, it's a 1. And then these two, you don't even need to worry about. Just leave them blank, hit OK, and you come in here, and the first time you do this you're like, it didn't work. But if you hit update, there it is. Okay, and then I usually highlight it and just hit start. If you don't highlight it and hit start all, it will start it. Now mine's not going to work because we didn't transfer that money over. See, it failed. If you did everything correctly, this is going to say successfully started masternode. Hit OK, hit update again, and it's going to say masternode is running. At this point your masternode will be going, and you can check it by going to the network and looking at it and seeing it over here. You can also check it on here, but that's really not needful. As long as it says it's running here after you've clicked update and you see it on the network here, you can find your IP on here and you see that it's got a 1. Now it might start as 0 for a little bit, but if you see it change to 1 and you'll see some time going by, it'll start out at 0 time. Like for example, this master node looks like it's going fine. You go through here and you'll see different times on them all. But essentially, if you see yours in here with a 1 and the time is moving, it's not stuck on 0. Now it could take a half an hour for an hour or an hour for this to start moving, so don't stress out if you just started it and it's not moving. But at that point your master node is working and you're going to start seeing rewards showing up in your account into this master node account that you created. It will start showing up there and you'll see them in your transactions. So anyway, that's all there is to set up a master node. Very, very simple. With this script, it does pretty much everything for you. And if you have any questions about that, you can go onto the Discord channel and ask there. But for the most part, this should set you up and get things working. Hope this has helped.